Okay, so today we're going to talk about cube root equations. This will be really similar to the lesson 3 square root equations, but before you get started, I want you to do the critical thinking. So I want you to think through critical thinking, and then I want you to do the 2 review sections on solving square root equations and then how to simplify a cubed root before you continue on with this video. All right, so now that you've gone through all 3 of those sections, I want you to check your work. So it says the estimated velocity in miles per hour of a car at the end of the drag race, where P is the horsepower and W is the weight, the car is given below. So you are given this equation right here. You're going to find the velocity of the car at the end of the drag race. So we know we're finding V when the horsepower is 343. And the pounds are, or the weight is 729. So you are going to evaluate it first by putting in your P, which is your horsepower, 343, over your weight, which is 729. So you're going to take and do that inside of the cubed root first, so 343 divided by 729. If you do that, that comes out to a decimal. So then we think back on what's the other method. So we do the cubed root of 343 first, and then we do the cubed root of 729 second. So that's that one. We go down to the 729, and we get 9. So we've now done 7/9, so 2, 3, 4, 3, and times 7/9. Obviously, we're going to put this over 1. So 234 times 7 is 1638 over 9. So we can divide it by 9, and we get a velocity of 182. And that is in miles per hour. All right, so reviewing square root equations, remember whatever we do to one side, we have to do to the other. So we are going to take the square root or put that radical sign over both sides of our equation. We bring down the x, and then we know the square root of 36 is 6. And remember, this answer can be plus or minus. Can be plus or minus. Going over, work with your constant number first. So add 1 to both sides. Get 4x squared equals 16. Divide by 4 on both sides to get x squared by itself equals 4. And take the square root of both sides to get x is equal to plus or minus 2. And then reviewing cube roots, because obviously that's going to play into today's lesson. The cubed root of 27, so you're thinking what times itself 3 times equals 27, and that is 3. And then the cubed root of 729 is going to come first here. We're going to put that in parentheses, minus 24. So you have 45 minus 24 to get your answer of 21. And then checking the last one, the negative cubed root. So you can kind of do 2 for 1 here. You can do 7 times 7 times 7 in expanded form to get 343. Plus 2 times what is the cubed root of negative 27. So that would be negative 3. So 343 plus negative 6, which means you're subtracting from 343 to get 337. All right, so a little bit of review. Now a little bit of new. Looks a lot like yesterday. So yesterday we were taking the square root of both sides. Today we are going to take the cube root of both sides. A little bit of a difference. When you put that radical sign, you need to have that little 3 on that to show the cubed root gets x is 2. Remember, you're not squaring anymore, so 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. And if anybody can tell me why on Monday, why Is this not a plus or minus when you do a cubed root? Come tell me on Monday if you know why it is not. So going over here to the second one, we're going to work with our constant number first. So add 15 to both sides to get 2d to the third power is equal to 128. We're going to work with our coefficient to get d cubed by itself. So 128 divided by 2 gives us 64. We take the cubed root of both sides, make sure that little 3 goes on, and d is equal to 4. So it's 4 times 4 is 16, and 16 times 4 is 64. Go ahead and pause this and do the U-try problems. All right, now that everybody in the room should be finished, the U-try problems, you should be dividing by 5 on both sides. X cubed equals 320 divided by 5 is 64. Remember, a cube root needs that radical sign with the 3, and x is equal to 4. And then our last one has the coefficient that is a fraction, so we want to multiply by the reciprocal so that our 3's are simplified to 1's. We have everything gone. We have r cubed equals 243 times 3, which is 729. We can take the cubed root of both sides, so 729's cubed root is 9, so r is equal to 9. Again, cube roots are not going to have that plus or minus on the front. If you can tell me on Monday, that would be great. If you can figure that out, why square roots have a plus minus and cube roots do not. You're going to continue on and do these 10 practice. They might be 15 in your packet, and then you're going to do this cubed root check.